Hello friends, it's us again from Crypto Potato and it's time for your daily dose of recent crypto news. The market is holding steady at a rather solid level with Bitcoin not far from its all-time high. In today's video we'll analyze why we may see high volatility in the coming hours, a direct warning to traders using high leverage. We'll also touch on interesting topics like Ethereum's price surge, what's new with Cardano, the plans of well-known bank Societe Generale and something interesting related to Binance. You know I'm annoying, so please like the video if you enjoy the content and follow us with the bell icon if you want to stay up to date with everything we upload daily. Now let's begin. As usual, we start with a look at the crypto market where things remain quite green today. Bitcoin is trading just below $110,000, Ethereum jumped to $2,800 and Hyperliquid hit a new all-time high of over $42. Other well-known cryptocurrencies that saw solid gains include Uniswap with a jump of nearly 20% over the past 24 hours, as well as the newly hatched Vaulta, which pumped by around 15%. Only a few tokens experienced minor daily losses, with BitTensor and WIF among them. The total market capitalization of the entire sector reached just under $3,600 billion. Now we move on to two very important factors that could shake the market further in the coming hours. This afternoon, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the latest US CPI report, which will show the most recent inflation data in the world's largest economy. Expectations point to a slight increase of 0.2%, with annual inflation potentially reaching 2.5%, compared to 2.3% in April. The main focus is whether the recently imposed tariffs by US President Donald Trump are already affecting consumer prices. Some economists believe that the effects of the tariffs are yet to be felt, particularly in categories like apparel and electronics. The data is of great importance as the Federal Reserve analyzes it closely to potentially decide on lowering interest rates. As you know, such a measure makes borrowing cheaper and could increase interest in risk assets like Bitcoin. The Fed has repeatedly stated that the healthy level of inflation is 2%, so a potential deviation from that target could mean a lower probability of rate cuts this year. According to Polymarket, the chance of at least one cut in 2025 is 26%. Another factor that could add to the volatility in the financial and crypto markets is the US-China negotiations that began on Monday in London and seem to be reaching a conclusion. A recent report shows that both sides have reached an agreement to reduce trade tensions between them. The agreement includes a framework for lifting restrictions on rare earth materials and magnets, which are vital for the tech industry. The next step is approval by President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping. The talks followed a phone call between the two leaders, which Trump described as very good. A previous temporary trade pause in May was threatened by mutual accusations of violations. Washington claimed that China was delaying mineral exports, while Beijing accused the US of blocking tech access and canceling student visas. The new agreement aims to resume trade and stabilize relations, which overall should be viewed as good news for investors. Now let's talk about Ethereum, which in recent days has outperformed Bitcoin, registering a stronger price increase. The cryptocurrency reached a price of over $2,800, the highest level in 15 weeks. The rise is yet another indication that the asset is in beast mode, as ex-user Merlin the Trader pointed out, who predicts a future move toward $4,000 and even 5-digit levels. According to analysts, the rally is due to Bitcoin's recovery to around $110,000, as well as other positive factors. The improved sentiment is also fueled by several elements: the release of a roadmap by Vitalik Buterin, SEC statements on staking and DeFi, and the Ethereum Foundation's new financial policy. Additionally, the Ethereum-Bitcoin ratio is also rising and has now reached 0.025, indicating growing interest in Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. Enthusiasm in the community is increasing, with some supporters seeing ETH as the future leader in execution, settlement, and store of value. We now turn our attention to another major altcoin, Cardano. Earlier this month, so-called whales, investors holding between 100 million and 1 billion ADA, purchased over 120 million tokens, worth more than $85 million. These large investors currently hold around 8% of the token's circulating supply. Such moves are often closely monitored by smaller investors who may follow suit. According to analysts, these whales sometimes act with insider information, especially when it comes to regulatory decisions. This fuels speculation about a potential major price increase for ADA, possibly driven by expectations of approval for the first spot ADA ETF in the US. That possibility gained further weight after the SEC approved a new Nasdaq crypto index that includes ADA. The chances of a spot ADA ETF being approved in the US by the end of 2025 jumped to 66% according to Polymarket. To top it off, the negative exchange net flow over the past few months suggests that many investors may have shifted from centralized platforms to self-custody methods, which reduces immediate selling pressure. The French bank Societe Generale, through its crypto division, announced the launch of a new stablecoin pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, which will operate on Ethereum and Solana. Trading of the token is expected to begin in early July. This is the bank's second stablecoin following the one introduced in April 2023. The new product, named USDCV, will be targeted at institutional, corporate and individual clients and will be available through exchanges, brokers and payment platforms. BNY Mellon will serve as reserve custodian, ensuring transparency and trust. Both tokens are built in accordance with the European MiCA regulation and are classified as electronic money tokens. The goal is to provide solutions for continuous fiat-to-crypto exchange, cross-border payments and collateral management. However, the products will not be available to users in the United States. For dessert, something about Binance. The largest crypto exchange played a leading role in uncovering and dismantling the darknet platform Incognito Market, known for hosting illegal drug deals worth over $100 million. Through its financial intelligence unit, Binance provided key information to US and Taiwanese authorities, traced complex crypto transactions, and froze over $3 million in illegal assets linked to the platform. The company managed to expose the digital infrastructure behind Incognito Market, including pseudonymous wallets and a crypto banking system that supposedly guaranteed anonymity. Binance traced the assets to a Taiwanese national named Lin, known as the Pharaoh, who later pleaded guilty in the US to charges of drug trafficking and money laundering. The exchange emphasizes that cryptocurrencies do not provide a safe haven for criminals, as every transaction leaves a trace. That's all for today, friends. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.